everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Brent Bridgman and you're watching the JFL Boat Build Series right here. Well, we are knee deep. Obviously you just saw the time lapse of me pulling the cap off of the Bumblebee. This is a 21-foot Bumblebee right behind us. I've already started cutting. We're starting to cut out this was already rotten. Obviously this is where it failed. Let me move that board. This is where it failed. This is what filled the boat up with water. Bad on Bumblebee's spot. They just didn't put a strip of fiberglass here, and it left like a open area just for this to fail. See, what they should have done was they should have brought in a piece of fiberglass like this all the way, but they stopped. Let me show you on the other side. The other side, if you look close, this doesn't have enough resin in it. In fact, it has air pockets. In fact, that goes right through to the foam. What they needed to do was put a strip of fiberglass and then resin right here, and this would have never failed. The problem is when that failed, it failed everything, and there's about from this rib right here to right here. Of course, the hull of the boat kind of goes at a slant, but this is all foam. So what do you think it does when it leaks water right here? Rain, lake water, you take a wave, anything up front, and they cut in a foot pedal so it was not sealed, so it's constantly getting water down here. When it runs down here, where's it go? It goes right down this rib, right down this rib, and over there is wide open. This side's open, you just don't see it. So what happens is, let me fold this back. So this is the old floorboard. They got two drains. So underneath this is just plywood. Now I don't know how much, this is a 2000 Bumblebee, so I don't know how much waterproofing or marine board they actually use, because it doesn't look like marine board at all, just to be honest, especially over there. It doesn't look like marine board. Honestly, it just looks like regular plywood. But anyhow, what happened is everything in the boat's rotten. Everything. So behind that wood right there is foam. Well, how did the foam get all waterlogged way up in there, Brent? Well, because it connects to foam under here. So once this whole gunnel filled with water, it has nowhere to go except for right back here. Well, check this out. These are giant blocks of foam, which are actually full of water. That side has more water than this side, but this side's still wet. So what we need to do is surgically cut out all the fiberglass, which means we're gonna run right along this ridge right here, right along the bottom. This is your stringer. Then this stringer will continue forward, right? This is like a cross section. This adds support, but this fiberglass stops right there. They didn't even fiberglass over the plywood. Now this is fiberglass, but since it all got wet, look at the crack. This is where it started failing. So from the front leads to new problems. Okay, so now these are wood, so these got to come out. Now this has nothing to do with the transom. The transom sits further back and is thicker, 2-inch. This is just a 1/2-inch piece of plywood that's been covered over with just gel coat. There's no fiberglass on top of this. So what we'll do is we'll go through, we'll cut this piece out, and behind here will be hollow. But we're gonna fill this in just like they did, except this will be 1/2-inch Coosa, because right now it's 1/2-inch wood. This, look at, so how did the transom go bad, Brent? Well, because this is wood under here. And why did it go bad? Because the water over the years seeped back into here and started making all this wood rot. Well, when the rotten wood got back to here, this is all wood as well. So this wood's rotten. And look, all they did was put gel coat on top of the wood. See this? That's just gel coat. There's no fiberglass matting. There's no nothing. This is just straight. Look at. This is just gel coat on top of wood. A non-prep surface. So, if you don't know by now, wood and fiberglass will never bond. That's where the Coosa board comes in. See, if you look real close on Coosa board, it's made of fiber. And this is a composite, so there's no wood product in here. Just layers of composite. See that? So every bit of wood in this boat will get replaced with Coosa board. So what we're gonna do is, today and tomorrow we're cutting everything out. And then Wednesday we'll go down to southern Alabama and pick up our Coosa board and our big pails of resin. Then we'll come in. I'm going to build the transom first, and then we build off the transom. See how the transom is first, then we build the stringers forward. The stringers will go all the way up to the front. All right, then we'll build these bottom pieces out of Coosa, and then I'm going to put 2-inch holes every 12 inches, and then we're going to have the customer bring us a 2-part foam, and this will have brand new foam in it. But when we get that foam poured in there, then we'll cap it. And what'll be cool is this will be sealed, this will be sealed, all of this will be sealed, and this foam will never get wet again unless you drill a hole in the back of the boat into the foam, or you puncture a hole in the bottom of the hull in a boating accident. So let's hope that none of that happens. This center stringer will also get replaced. What's cool is these ones are actually fiberglass. They're like fiberglass rods. So those were pretty smart. They stiffen the hull. This is wood. But look at, they didn't cover the top of the wood at all. Had they encapsulated this entire piece of wood, it would have never failed. But see, they didn't cover it. Parts of it are covered. It's almost like somebody at the factory got lazy, to be honest. And I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just saying hourly employees that want to go home, they tend to mix and mismatch things and miss out on stuff. This should have been fiberglassed. It'd be easy to fiberglass this before you put it in the boat. This would have taken maybe 30 minutes to do both sides. So because they're exposed, the rot continued. See where I drilled holes here? Not only to let it breathe, but also I was testing to see if it's wet. It's very wet. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an inside story on what was wrong with the boat. I got more rotten wood here. It's all rotten wood. It's just crumpling in my hands. But anyway, we're gonna fix it up. We're gonna do it all in Coosa. And before you know it, we will be totally putting that cap back on the boat and sending another successful boat down the road from the JFL Boat Build Series. Join me now. This right here is solid water. If you push on it, see the water dripping down it? Solid water all the way up here. So can you imagine this whole thing here is water. All the way forward is water. You probably have 200 or 300 pounds of water in all the foam in the boat. So it's making the boat lean to the left. Now this boat has a fuel tank in the center, in the back, that goes right in here. So the customer's like, we don't have anything on the left side of the boat. They even moved, weight over there to see if it was, and you're driving on that side. So it should, if anything, lean to that side. It was leaving heavy to this side. So anyway, we'll get all this fiberglass out, and then we'll have to pull all the foam, which is a heck of a chore. I'll make a special bit that'll go on my electric drill, and it will take all that out. So But yeah, even all this has to come out. But when we get all the Coosa board back in here, Coosa board, all that, then we'll do the 2-part foam down on the bottom, down in the gunnels, and then back here in the back. And then the back will get, you see how rotten that is? The whole transom is rotten. So anyway, I'm gonna try to take these out as one piece because I can use these as a template. See how that's flexing? Like the whole thing is just moving. See that? Not good. Not good. So I'm gonna try and take them out as many big pieces as I can because I like to use it for a template. So we'll see if we can do that now. So the only solid piece of wood on here, you see this little bar right here? It was fiberglass to the face of fiberglass, and these on the side are fiberglass. So when they put that piece of wood in, then they fully wrapped it. It's fully wrapped in fiberglass. This is the only piece of wood on this boat that's not rotten because it was fully encased with fiberglass. Pushing the boat. So this transom in this boat's only this wide. So it partially relies on these, which it should have never relied on. And I guess they're kind of relying on the shape of the back of this thing as being a structure point. But the wood I just pulled out of here was like 1/4 inch. So it served 0 structural value, where now it's gonna have a 1/2 inch of Coosa covered on both sides with 1708. Same here, both sides covered with 1708. So this will be a way stronger transom, and you'll be able to hang a brand new, 650 pound motor on the back of this thing without even batting an eye. It'll be way stronger. Not to mention in the bottom, same thing, had a 1/8 inch, like wood paneling like off an old house from the 80s. And it just had a layer of fiberglass on the top of it, nothing on the bottom. So the whole bottom was rotten. And even it, if it was put in Coosa, which we're gonna put it back as Coosa, we're gonna do 1/2 inch Coosa, 1708 on both sides, and it'll sit under the tank. There's a lot of weight in that tank when it's full. And so it's just beating up the bottom of the boat. I mean, honestly, if you got no support this way, side to side, and that big old 50-gallon tank, 45-gallon tank is doing this over waves, these boats come out of the water and hit down pretty hard. I mean, you can see where it's worn down. I mean, there wasn't anything really holding it. So now when these two sides are strong, the bottom's strong, it's all tied in, it also acts as part of the transom, because this transom, when it gets replaced with Coosa board, will be attached to this Coosa, attached to this Coosa, attached to the crossbeam Coosa, attached to the middle beam Coosa, and the 2 stringers Coosa. So it all ties in together as one solid unit. Now we've got a skeletal spine that's pretty much bulletproof. So, all right, let me continue. So I didn't film it, but before I started cutting all this out, I measured and took pictures of everything. All right, you got to do that. Because when you go to put stuff back in, you need to know where it goes. That's a heavy piece of wood. That's a very heavy piece of, oh, look at this. The transom's only 2 inches thick right here to here. So that held onto the bottom here. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So this is actually, where's my tape measure? So this transom, I don't know where oh, there it is. So I'm gonna put it back the way it was. And since this is all Coosa, just this top section will be Coosa, then we'll have a Coosa shelf. Because I do want it to look factory, you know what I mean? It's just gonna be stronger. So this actual transom depth, 1.5 inches. And then with this other 1/2 inch made it a 2-inch transom. But it's only this top, this is fiberglass right here, 6 inches. Let me take a picture of that because I'll forget. I will forget. I need to take a picture of this. I'm glad we found that. Well, that's why it was also hanging on so well. All right, so this is 6 inches. I want to take a picture of that. That's interesting. I mean, okay, I'm gonna take a picture of these pumps. And this one. Goes through the hull. That one will be easy because I can drill it from the outside in, so we can get that one just right. So I'm gonna take a picture of this. And same with the holes for the engine mounting, will be the same exact way. All right, well, that was interesting. Crazy. So this is only 1.75 inch measurement. So it has the outside of the boat, a 3/4 piece, and a 1/2 inch piece. So you got 2 1/4. No, you don't have 2 1/4. So you have the outside of the boat, which is 1/4 inch. Then the wood itself is 1.5 inches. So you end up with 1.75 inches, which over here, if I measure it, it's 1.75 inches. Okay, so we have a 3/4 inch piece and a 1/2 inch piece. 3/4 and 1/2 inch. All right, that's all we need. All right, we can continue the demolition. Let's take these pumps off. Because we don't want to damage the pumps. Little gasket is in there. Put it back in there. Well, old plastic, that sucks. All right, so somebody glued that thing in there. Just the plastic's so old on there, I was unthreading it and it broke because it's old plastic. We'll have to get another one of those. Can't get this one to come out. There it comes. It's got garbage in it too, so fishing line, something like that. Yeah. Look at this. This was stuck in it. Anyway, it's old plastic, so I'll just have the customer get a through transom plastic piece It needed one anyway, so. All right, and that is for their live well, which this is the one that wasn't connected when we did the wiring. It didn't have anything to it, but maybe that's why it was disconnected. It's because it didn't work, so it probably needed a new one anyway. So I'll let the customer know. We're gonna go down Wednesday and we're gonna go grab the Kusa board. Ow, fucker. That got me. That got me good. That got me good. Careful with your grinder. It'll get you. I know that got me good. And I don't even want to look at it because it's bleeding. As soon as I get this thing untangled. That got me good. Don't ever underestimate your grinder. All right, come on. I got an episode that says I almost lost my nipple, and that was true. So I'm gonna unplug this. All right. I'll tell you what, sure tore a hole in there. All right. I don't even want to look. Oh yeah. Whoo! We're gonna have to go clean that up. We might be done for the day. Sorry, folks. We'll be back. Okay. So that's pretty bad. And this is after me washing it, shaving it, and making sure that it's gonna be. Anyway, yeah. So be careful with your grinder because when you're too comfortable using it, this is what happens right here. Might have to go get some stitches, so it is laid open. But anyway, I'll probably have to blur that out because it's pretty graphic. But anyway, make sure you're careful with your grinder. Years ago, I almost lost my finger, and then I think I cut somewhere else that had to have stitches. But anyway, be very careful. This is gonna bruise all the way out here. It ruined the shirt, which is whatever, it's a work shirt. But anyway, I got some peroxide on it, and then now I'll go put some Neosporin and some bandage on it. But anyway, we're gonna let this see how it looks, and then we might go to the hospital depending on. So I'll give you an update tomorrow.